So with the Polkadot Hub, obviously we've been waiting for some time as an ecosystem for this to go live. That's just happened in the last few days. We've seen in recent months, let's say, a strategic shift. Our expectations had been for a while that there would be a big launch when the smart contracts went live, where we would, have a big all singing. And you remember because we had a few discussions when we did our last incentives proposal, right? We were going to have a joint proposal in order to bring as much liquidity as possible to the ecosystem as a whole. We also know that we had the likes of Velocity Labs who were working to maximize the number of integrations and things that we would get, so that we would have some, familiar applications and tools and things like that available on Hub from the start. So that you would have a nice amount of liquidity, you'd have the familiar tools, familiar apps and things, and it would just feel like part of the wider sort of EVM ecosystem, right? That then changed, and instead it's gone for a more soft rollout, let's say. So we haven't launched with that big bang, which you might see and expect like a hockey stick reaction. Instead, we've gone with a much more subtle release it and I guess build it up from there. Liquidity will be a challenge, of course, with that rollout, because without apps or without liquidity to draw those apps, it's going to be a big challenge. I think we're waiting to see the products that Parity are building. Sounds like there's some exciting things they're trying to work on there. Perhaps these will be interesting enough to sort of bring in some new development talent, etc. So I think, liquidity initially might be a bit of a challenge. It's in a strategic shift. Now let's just sort of wait, I guess, and see where that strategic shift takes us. What are the new priorities, and how do things go from there?
Yeah.